The last time you could go down this escalator and board a brand new train was 1983. But all that changes today. We're in Baltimore at the Lexington Market Station on the Metro Subway Train Express Rapid Transit Service Train SubwayLink. And on January 9th, 2026, they're finally introducing their brand new Hitachi built trains. It's the first time the line is getting new trains since it opened. We're headed to Owings Mills to ride the first run.
Made those. But
I'm joined by my friend Daniel from the channel Build Into Trains. This is your first time on the Metro SubwayLink, right?
this is indeed my first ever time on the Baltimore subway.
First time, and you get to ride the new cars. That's pretty nice.
That's right, and I'm learning the full government name of it from Tom.
The Baltimore Metro SubwayLink, and yes, that is its real name, is a 15-mile-long railway line. Baltimore was supposed to get a much larger heavy rail metro system with multiple lines, like DC or Atlanta, but only one was ever built. These trains we're on are the Budd UTVs, and they date back to when the line opened. The few that still survive in 2026 are in rough shape. The new trains can't come soon enough. So we're on the train to Owings Mills. We're about 3 stops away. This is the old Budd stock from 1983. It's in rough shape.
We're on board a rolling museum right now.
Pretty much. The funny thing is, well, we'll see if it's funny, that we get to Owings Mills after 10 because we had to wait so long for this train, and the new train is supposed to start running at 10, so hopefully we make it. It happened. We stopped, and guess what drove past? I think our strategy now is going to be to not die.
Exactly. We just crossed over, finally approaching Owings Mills, just as the new one left.
But also to just go back into the city and try to catch it coming back from Johns Hopkins. Apparently, the new train left from Owings Mills about 5 minutes before 10, so we wouldn't have made it even if we did arrive at 10. The tracker also wasn't turned on yet. Despite Owings Mills being in a suburban location, there is quite a bit of transit-oriented development built around the station. All right, back to Baltimore.
Back to Baltimore.
So there's 2 reasons why we didn't get off at an earlier stop and went all the way to Owings Mills. One was because the transit app said that there wouldn't be a departure for 20 minutes. Turns out the new train is not tracking. And the other reason was we were hoping that maybe at Owings Mills they'd be handing out some stuff for the inaugural run, and they weren't. So okay, so we've made it back to State Center. The other train is just a few stops ahead of the one we were on, so we anticipate it'll come back here in just a few minutes. And we've walked all the way to the front because it's a very long train. All the other trains on the system, all the Budd trains, are running as 2-car sets. But I think this one is a 6-car set. These trains are built by Japanese company Hitachi. They were assembled at the Hitachi factory in Hagerstown, Maryland.
This is the westbound train to Owings Mills.
The order for 78 cars was placed in 2017. First delivery was made in 2023, and testing took quite a while. Suddenly this week on Tuesday, they made some press runs and announced that it would enter service Friday, January 9th.
This is Upton. The doors are opening on the left side. This is the westbound train to Hopkins.
So the big thing, of course, the seats. Just by looking at them, they're obviously harder. They're hard plastic, not fabric. I'm going to sit down in one for the first time now.
The next stop is West Coast Train. Passengers are not allowed to use the end car doors of the Metro rail car to move from one car to another.
They announce that at every stop. It's hard. It's not like immediately uncomfortable, just a hard bench, and honestly the state those Budd seats are in, I'm not even going to complain about this too much. This area looks familiar.
Oh yes, yeah, like I've never just been here before a few minutes ago.
What are your first thoughts?
It still has that new train smell, so kind of appreciate that before it gets really dank. It's nice and smooth, pretty fast.
The next stop is
Thankfully, no slower than the existing ones.
Then we found out on the last train they were handing out merch. So we missed those. But then we heard some good news. We're gonna go to the back car because they're still handing out tote bags.
Celebrating the new train ride. Very
Thank you. In this car, after picking up our totes, we got to talking to the MTA communications team. I even shared my thoughts on their social media.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Patrick Burns. I'm here from MTA's Ride Experience team. I'm here with my good friend Tom from Trains Are Awesome. Now, my good friend Tom ran us through the mud on our old trains a couple months ago. He'll post a link in the comments or bio somewhere like that. So, Mr. Tom from Trains Are Awesome, do you think we did a good job? Did we get better?
I think you did a great job. I love new trains. I like these new trains. I came from DC all the way to ride them, and I'm not disappointed. Especially now that I got this.
Well, Mr. Tom, we appreciate you being a part of history. We're glad we made it right with you, man. Welcome and enjoy the ride.
This is the westbound train to Hopkins.
Each car has 76 seats, and when you include standees, they have a capacity of 196 people. Along with the new fleet, the MTA will also implement communications-based train control on this line.
The doors are opening on the left side.
I've got to say, MTA Maryland, you've got some great people working for you. The enthusiasm was wonderful. Seems like a lot of people that they've interviewed really enjoy these new trains. I think some of my favorite features were the brighter and more spacious interior. It definitely just felt like an upgrade. And I liked that all the passenger information was working, the screens and the announcements. Amtrak could really learn a thing or two from that.
Absolutely. We also made a couple new friends on board working for the MTA, so definitely great people and great new train.
Anything else you liked about it?
I like the nice big bike spots on it, and just the general accessibility and openness of the cars. It didn't feel cramped at all, very well lit, and yeah, it was very nice and open.
So we've come to Old Court Station. We wanted to get a video of the train moving, and this station actually has a railroad crossing. It's only for staff, but still. I think if there's one thing that I would improve myself, it's just that the design is kind of boring. It's not super important, but the fact that They have the yellow front, but then just the silver body, and then inside it's very utilitarian. I totally understand it, but if I had the chance to design the first new trains in 40 years, I might have added some fun little elements here and there, like a Maryland flag decal. This time we're going to take the train all the way to the other end at Johns Hopkins. This journey will be a little bit under half an hour. It took a little while for the train to show up at Old Court, so we figured something was probably holding them up at Owings Mills for a little bit. This next run was a little bit more eventful, with the doors giving us some problems at a few of the stops. There were Hitachi crews on board, monitoring everything. Now, my viewers in DC will probably know that our metro is also getting a fleet of trains built by Hitachi in Hagerstown. I've heard a few voices say that they think the new DC cars will be very similar to these. I wouldn't be too sure about that, because the two systems do have a number of different specifications, and a lot of interior design elements are the choice of the agency that buys them, not so much the company that builds them. I think we can expect something to look like the mock-up that was on the National Mall a few years ago. The doors didn't open at Upton Station. We stopped there for about a minute and then we just left.
This is the eastbound train to Johns Hopkins.
At Johns Hopkins, we get a few minutes to look at the shiny exteriors of these trains. You know, I've always been curious why they went with a yellow front when the old trains had blue fronts. It's kind of Los Angeles. Is the MTA moving towards yellow as a color for all their vehicles? So on the trip back, we of course did notice a few things. The doors had a few issues. One of the seats was broken, and we all kind of said the train is a lot louder than the old Budd units, at least when you're on board. That being said though, it's great that Baltimore finally has modern stock on their metro line. There's security cameras, working information, lots of really important things that you would expect in a 21st century train, and I'm excited to ride them again. Maybe someday Baltimore will have more transit lines. That was a little bit scary. Our door wouldn't open, so we had to run to another one.
The only door on the train that wouldn't open was the one that we were standing at.
Maybe we were meant to stay longer. Now, this was a great morning. We waited a long time for these trains, and I'm glad they're here. Glad that we got to ride them basically first day. There was a press event on Tuesday, I think, and they ran a few runs, but this is like the first revenue service day, and there were a lot of people out to go see them. Thank you so much, Daniel, for joining me today, and thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to Trains Are Awesome, and we'll see you next time.
Time to get some fried chicken.
Yes, let's do it.